Wait and see. You know, when you can't predict the future, that can be a good strategy. But wait and see isn't always a good strategy when it comes to your retirement. In these uncertain times, the decisions you make today regarding your savings and investments can have a huge impact on your retirement. Phillip Statler and the team at Statler Financial have seen the market at its highs, its lows, and everywhere in between. They know how emotional it can be for you right now. So here's what they're doing. They're clearing their schedule to talk with you on the phone or on a video call to listen to what concerns you have and then offer help. The number to call is 863-285-3815. They are local and independent advisors who can help guide you through this. Call Phillip Statler and the Statler Financial team now. 863-285-3815 and schedule your time for a phone or a video meeting with the team. Call 863-285-3815. That's 863-285-3815. Investment advisory services offered through Statler Financial Services, Inc. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
FM, Kenny Loggins there. Morning Dave is here. It's 8:37 now, 23 before 9. Time to check in and find out what Wall Street's doing to your money this morning. Based upon yesterday, it had a pretty darn good day. Let's go downtown to the offices of Statler Financial Services and figure out what Sam Hill caused all the party yesterday. Phillip, good morning. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, David. Doing well today. Technology is giving me a little bit of a problem. I didn't get a chance to talk about it before we went on the air. So we're making a little makeshift thing using the iPad instead of the computer for our Zoom meeting this morning.
Well, what I get for having a short record on, too. We didn't. Well, we started out yesterday. We closed out yesterday with a bang. I mean, the Dow was up 328 points, NASDAQ up 203, Standard & Poor's up the better part of 43. I wasn't watching that carefully. Was there one thing that triggered her? Is this just a bounce back from the correction we had earlier?
I think it's a bounce back from the correction we had for last week and the first part of this week. So I think that's the big deal there is that it's really just bouncing back off of that correction at this point. And we're getting some bits and pieces of good news. We talked about NVIDIA yesterday. They're getting more traction even today. We got Walmart and Amazon coming out with some new things that we'll talk about here in a little bit. I think they're getting a bounce from that. So all around, I think that people are just finding reasons to get back in the market and buy stuff.
It's one of those days in which there really isn't any bad news, because even the stuff we'd consider bad news normally is good news the way things look. One of our primary government data dumps today was the import prices. And yes, import inflation is going up 0.9% more last month in terms of the price of imports. Less energy, it was still 0.7% higher. Normally you'd complain about that, but it indicates increased demand, and that was a little bit more than the market expected, I gather.
It was, Dave. They expected import prices to increase by about 0.5%. So so that means that is a indication that there's some demand out there, which is good for our current economy. We want demand to be back out there because of all the lack of demand we've had for the last 6 months.
Now, when you consider the companies looking at like 50% revenue drops for a couple of months in there in the second quarter, seeing an increase in demand is always good news. Empire State Business Index comes out, one of those indexes we always preface by saying on a normal occasion we'd blow it off, but any indication as to how things are doing regionally makes a difference. New York, that area went from a 3.7 index last month up to a 17 this month, and I didn't know what the market was expecting, but that's a big increase.
Yeah, that is a big increase, and so you got to think that that's kind of an indication for that Northeast area how well they're picking back up a little bit in the manufacturing sector, which is important to us because manufacturing goods means if that's back at work improving, that means people are going back to work. And two, it means, again, looking at demand is back in place to allow that to start to happen.
Now, the other side of every coin is we aren't manufacturing stuff if people aren't buying stuff, and this being a consumer-driven economy, in toto, it's got to be good news. We're looking at, you mentioned at the outset that we had some exciting stuff going on with things like Wally World and Amazon. We didn't get into the details before we went on the air. What kind of news items you got on those two?
So Walmart is introducing a membership program that starts today. It's called Walmart Plus, and it's made to compete against Amazon's Prime. So basically what they're doing is if you belong to the membership, which costs money, they are going to free delivery, unlimited free delivery on orders over $35. You'll get a discount on their gas pump pricing, and some other things that they're going to offer. And so trying to do more to compete with Amazon, they're trading up based on some of that information, about 0.8%. And then the other one I found interesting is on Amazon. So Amazon, I think it comes out today or tomorrow. They're starting a platform called Luxury Stores. It's going to be high-end shopping experience. Like the first store they have coming on is going to be Oscar de la Renta, offering some of their pre-fall and fall-winter collections. Here's the deal. You can't just go and decide I want to belong. You have to be invited. It's an invitation-only platform. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, especially when you look at, they're targeting the luxury lines and the luxury things. And so be interesting to see how that plays out and what kind of drive that really brings to Amazon. They're trading up about 1.25% because of that this morning.
Yeah, I look at it and I just put those two stories together on the juxtaposition. We're talking about paying to do business with Walmart, and got to be invited and be socially acceptable to do business with Amazon. What's wrong with that picture, huh?
What's next, right?
It's interesting, though, because it gets those two targeting completely different businesses. Walmart notices Amazon is obviously taking a chunk out of their shorts, so they take on Amazon one-on-one, and Amazon says, okay, fine, let's go after the I-Magnons of the world and get socially high-end, right?
Yeah, if you devise a system of exclusivity, that in itself becomes a magnet.
Well, when you think about it, I don't know how many people remember, but when Gmail first started, you could not get a Gmail account when Gmail first started. You had to be invited to have a Gmail account. And because it was desired, because not everybody could have one, that's what made Gmail take off as big as it is. And now it's something basically everybody's got one, because you got to have one in order to get an Android phone running.
Yeah. So you're right. That is the whole exclusivity thing plays a big factor in retail and social connectivity.
Not just simple fact. People want what they can't have. So if I can't have Amazon special thingamabob, boy, when it opens up, I'm going to go crazy and get it, even if it's something there's no green earth I'm going to use, right?
That's right. That's right.
Oh, pretty. Hey, talking about businesses that reported, Lennar Homes, we always look at home builders as to how well they're doing, because that industry affects so many others. They reported right after the market closed yesterday. What was the word on them?
So they did well. They beat expectations handedly. I mean, they're expected to make $1.55 a share. They came in at like $2.12. Their revenue was about 0.4 billion more than expected. So really, they had a good quarter. So you would expect the price to be moving up today. However, that's not the case, because one of the things that they did say when in their announcement of earnings is they expect the average home sale price to decline in the fourth quarter. And so, that's putting some pressure on Lennar this morning. They're down 3.3%. They closed yesterday at $79, which was $1 away from their 52-week high. But they're down about 3.6% now before the market opens up.
Yeah, they're toward the top of my big loser list, which kind of surprises me. What factor prompted them to think that the resale price on homes was going to go down? That really kind of goes counterintuitively, doesn't it?
It is, and nothing was really said in the article I read. But the only thing I can think of is maybe housing supply is catching up in some areas with demand, which is going to cause them to have to back off a little bit, maybe some of their pricing.
Okay, reduced expectations as we fill up the supply file. That would actually make some sense because there's no indication of the price of housing, hitting a downtrend or a downtick at this point in time. So it kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Resetting the table, up day yesterday on Wall Street, 45 minutes before we opened this morning. It looks like we got that momentum continuing overall, don't we, Phillip?
We really do, Dave, and it's a good sign. We saw those couple days last week where we were having some issues trying to get some green ink, but we got green ink today pretty much all the way across the board. We got the Dow up almost 0.9. We got the S&P 500 almost up 1%, and we've got the NASDAQ up 1.25%. So everything's looking good, kind of like yesterday. Now we just follow through today like we did yesterday. We'll be in good shape. When we switch gears to the commodity side, it's looking pretty green today too. We've got silver up almost 1.2%. We got gold up 0.5%. And crude oil is making a comeback, Dave, up 1.25% to $37.70 a barrel.
And the only reason I'm not happy at that is the biggest reason they're saying is because they're shutting down the oil rigs out in the Gulf because that hurricane is sitting out there, and that's screwing up the supply chain and driving the price up by a little bit. It'd be nice if it would stay on that uptrend for normal supply flow situations, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it really would be. You're right, because once this hurricane gets through and they get those those rigs up and running again, supply is going to pump back up and it's going to put pressure on oil again. Because another report I saw came out early this morning or late last night was again echoing what we heard yesterday from OPEC. Demand is expected to continue to decline. Actually, I think they were looking through 2021.
Oh, geez. That's even longer term than the OPEC report was, not what we had in mind. Overseas markets, mixed bag over in Asia. Japan was off due to internal constrictions there. The rest of the Asian rim mostly was green this morning at the close. Europe generally trading up this morning on the basis of our strong performance yesterday and the futures this morning. Phillip, advice is always needed. Yeah, things are going up. Yeah, we can make some money right now, but risk is dangerous when you're real close to retirement. How do I find you to control that risk in my portfolio?
Then give us a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule their no obligation financial x-ray that'll let an independent set of eyes that has some fiduciary responsibility to their clients take a look at it and make sure that you are where you need to be as close to retirement as you are. And then, hey, follow us on Facebook. Search under Statler Financial Services. You'll find our page there. Like and follow us there. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 730.
And back here again tomorrow morning on Light FM, hopefully grinning and scratching over another green day. It'd be kind of nice to see two in a row, wouldn't it?
It really would. It'd be nice to kind of put them back to back here.
I like it when we're both in good humor in the morning. Thank you, Phillip. I appreciate it. We'll catch you tomorrow, all right?
All right, man. You have a great day.
Take care. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler.
Hey, guys. Sorry for the weird angle and using the iPad. But hey, working from home today a little bit this morning, and home technology was just not quite up to speed. So I thought this was a safer alternative. So, hey, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Hey, I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.